Today I'm going to be reviewing these VGO chainsaw protection work gloves. They're recently sent to me by the brand. So I figured what better way to test out chainsaw work gloves than to use a chainsaw on them. So I've got this one strapped down and I'm going to attempt to cut right through this back and show you exactly what it does. So I'm going to go ahead and be cutting through here. I'm going to try here, and then I'm also going to try the fingers. So we'll see if this actually stops the chainsaw, and then if that one does and it rips it up too badly, then I'll use the other one and try it with the fingers. So let's go ahead and get our chainsaw started. Now you can see it obviously shredded that up a good amount. Let me go ahead and get it unstrapped from there and see if it actually cut all of the way through this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on just to kind of show you how far it cut into it, whether, if it would actually be chainsaw safe or not. And you can see here, it cut all of the way through on this side. Now, I did hit here, but the problem is when I hit here, it bounced to here. And that was, I kind of tried to come down straight on this part here. So here it did bounce. The problem is it bounced over to here. And if I would have had a hand inside of there, you can see it just ripped it right out at this stitching here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try the fingers as well. I don't feel like the fingers have any protection whatsoever, but I'm going to go ahead and strap it back down and try the fingers. But it is important to note that although this offers some protection here on the top, you can see that it's bounced off here. It didn't go through at all. It's only where this square is where you get the chainsaw protection. And that caused the chain to kind of bounce and move down this way. And at that point, it just ripped it right up where your hand's going to be at. So although it does offer some protection here at the top, you're not getting any protection here on the side at the seam. So they definitely should have run this all of the way across this back. Now let me go ahead and try the finger. Now you can see here, yeah, that did not protect the fingers at all. It obviously did bounce off, but that's simply because there was nothing underneath for it to go into. It easily ripped and that chainsaw easily ripped and shredded right through these fingers every time. So there's absolutely no chainsaw protection on your fingers, none on the sides. The only spot where there's that chainsaw protection is the back of the hand. Now, obviously that's good. Like, it's good to have some protection on the back of the hand. But truthfully, like when you're actively using a chainsaw, the issue is going to be when you're cutting weirdly. And if your fingers get out sideways or something like that, or it jerks funky and for some reason your guard here doesn't stop it, that's going to be when you're having an issue. Because typically you got to be using two hands. If you're one-handing it like so, and you're like holding a branch or something, that's when you're going to be really needing the protection. If you happen to be using one hand, like with a smaller chainsaw, and that's really, you're going to really want protection all the way across, not just on the back of the hand, as obviously you're not often going to be cutting where the back of your hand is going to be here. If you're going to have chainsaw protection, you really want to have protection all across the entirety of this. So you're going to want it all the way down into the extremities. You're going to want it on the sides. You're going to want it on this side. I didn't even test this side, but you can see here, this part here, the patch where it says chainsaw protection, is just there on the back. So that's not going to run on this side, just like it didn't run on this side. So you're not protecting your thumb, you're not protecting those things, it's just protecting the back of your hand, which truthfully, when you're using a chainsaw, it's good, but it really needs to be protected all of the way up. So for it to say that it has chainsaw protection all the way across this glove, it quite simply doesn't. Just going to be right here on the back. It did protect on the back. You can see here it bounced off, didn't go through there on the back. It just bounced right off of that back there. But you've got it split here. You've got it where it cut through fingers, multiple places. So the only chainsaw protection is just going to be right there. That's very important to keep in mind. Don't get these gloves and think, oh man, I'm going to be way safer and I can do some sketchy things with my chainsaw. You cannot. Only protected right there on the back.